It was a crisp Friday evening, the kind that made the world feel quieter, more introspective. Kendra had spent the day looking forward to a peaceful evening at home, a much-needed break from her hectic life. After a long week of work, she was ready to surprise her boyfriend, young Joc, with a romantic dinner. They hadn't had much time for each other recently. His career, the pressures of their lives, and the drama surrounding their respective social circles had pulled them in different directions. But tonight, she thought, would be different. She had planned everything, cooked his favorite meal, set the table with candles, and even curated a playlist of songs that reminded them of the early days of their relationship. When she arrived home, her heart fluttered with anticipation. She was excited to see him, to laugh, to reconnect. But as she stepped inside the front door, something felt off. There was a strange quietness in the air. No sounds of him greeting her, no playful remarks, no bustling in the kitchen like she had imagined. She paused in the entryway, listening carefully. Then she heard it. Laughter. It was soft, hushed, almost playful, but unmistakable. Kendra froze. Her pulse quickened and her heart sank. She recognized that voice, young Joc's voice. But it wasn't just his. There was another voice too, one that sent a chill down her spine. It was Karlie Red's voice. Her stomach twisted with a mix of confusion and unease. Kendra had always known that Karlie, Joc's ex-girlfriend, had a way of lingering in the periphery of his life. Kendra had been wary of her from the start, but she had trusted Joc and believed his assurances that Karlie was nothing more than a ghost from the past. But now, the unmistakable sounds of familiarity coming from her bedroom shattered that trust. Without thinking, Kendra's feet began to move toward the source of the noise. Her mind raced, trying to make sense of what was happening, but she couldn't quite process it. It was almost as if her body was acting on instinct, forcing her forward, even though she knew deep down that she wasn't ready for whatever she was about to find. Kendra reached the hallway that led to the bedroom. Her heart pounded in her chest as she slowly approached the door, her hand trembling as she grasped the doorknob. She hesitated for a moment, breathing in the stillness of the moment. Then she pushed the door open. The sight that greeted her made her world come to a screeching halt. There they were, young Joc, half-dressed, sprawled out on the bed, and Karlie Red sitting next to him, her hand resting on his chest as they shared a quiet, intimate moment. Joc's eyes were wide with surprise, and Karlie was looking at Kendra, a faint smirk playing at the corner of her lips. Kendra's breath hitched in her throat. She couldn't move. She couldn't speak. The room felt like it was closing in on her, suffocating her with a weight she couldn't escape. Joc scrambled to sit up, his face flushing as he fumbled for his shirt. Karlie, on the other hand, didn't seem fazed. She simply sat there as if this was all just another normal day in her ongoing game with young Joc. Kendra's mind was spinning, trying to make sense of what she was seeing, but all she could feel was the betrayal. Kendra. Joc's voice was soft, almost pleading, as he stood up, his eyes wide, his hands raised in a half-hearted attempt to explain. I didn't expect you home so soon. This isn't what it looks like. Kendra's eyes burned with unused tears as she slowly shook her head. Not what it looks like. Her voice cracked with the weight of her disbelief. How could it not be what it looks like, Joc? You're in my bed. With her, your ex. Joc's face tightened, and he took a step toward her, but Kendra quickly held up her hand, stopping him. She couldn't bear to hear his excuses. She couldn't bear to look at him. Every fiber of her being was telling her to leave, to get out of the room before she let him see her fall apart. Kendra, please, he begged, taking another step forward. Just let me explain. It's not what you think. Karlie and I, we're just talking. She came by to talk about some old stuff. Old stuff? Kendra repeated bitterly. You think I'm stupid? She's your ex, Joc. She's not old stuff. She's here, in my house, in my bed, like she belongs here. Karlie, who had been silent up until now, finally spoke up. Her voice was smooth and calculated, with an edge of coldness that only made the situation worse. Kendra, darling, Karlie began, her voice dripping with venom. I'm not here to stir the pot, but Joc and I have a history. And it's clear we've both got unfinished business. He's not just yours, not entirely. He knows that, I know that, and tonight, he's remembering that. Kendra's heart shattered at Karlie's words, the venom in her tone unmistakable. Joc shifted uncomfortably beside her, but he didn't speak. He didn't defend Kendra. He just stood there, caught between the past and the present, like a man who didn't have the courage to make a choice. Tears welled up in Kendra's eyes as she looked from Karlie to Joc. both of them standing there as if she wasn't even in the room. "You've been lying to me this whole time, haven't you?" Kendra whispered, her voice breaking. "You've been stringing me along, pretending you're over her when clearly you're not. And now you bring her into my home like it's nothing." Joc looked pained, his face crumpling with guilt. He opened his mouth to say something, but no words came. "I trusted you, Joc," Kendra whispered, her voice breaking even further. "I loved you." She turned away, her heart aching with the weight of it all. Everything Kendra thought she knew was falling apart. Her heart shattered, ached around her, and she couldn't stay another moment in that room. She couldn't look at him. She couldn't face the woman who had never let go of him. Kendra fled from the room, her hands shaking as she grabbed her purse and rushed out of the house. The cold air hit her like a slap, but it didn't compare to the icy feeling settling deep in her chest. She didn't know where she was going or what she was doing, only that she needed to get away, far away from them both. The betrayal cut deeper than she could have ever imagined, and in that moment, the pain was almost unbearable. Joc stood in the doorway, watching her leave, knowing that he had just lost her. But part of him still couldn't bring himself to turn away from Karlie. Part of him was still tethered to the past, still captivated by the unfinished story between him and her. Inside the house, Karlie glanced at him, a knowing smile curling at the corners of her lips. She wasn't just a part of his past. She was a lingering presence that had never truly gone away, and tonight, she had reminded him of that. Kendra was gone, and Joc was left standing there alone with the consequences of his choices. He knew deep down that he had just lost something real, but the question remained. Could he ever let go of the past and move on, or would he forever be stuck between the woman he had loved and the one who was still pulling at his heartstrings? Outside, Kendra walked into the night, her heart heavy with loss. She didn't know what the future held, but she knew she couldn't stay in a place where she wasn't wanted. As the cold wind bit at her skin, she vowed that she would find a way to heal, to rebuild herself without him.
Now wait.
For real, don't cry. Don't start that.
Whatever you do, come apart. Quit crying.
I'm sorry, Carla. I kind of already did. But it's going to be okay.
I swear.
I see that this DM is in vanish mode. Talking about you fine.
How did you even see that? Did you go?
Alright, so